You know the vibe. All spice, no sugar. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to another episode on the Don't Sugarcoat It podcast, and I've got a question for you to start straight away. How would it feel in your body right now if 30K dropped into your account? How would it feel in your body? Or maybe that's too small for you. How would it feel if 100K dropped into your account today? How would it feel? If your nervous system is not calibrated to your next level wealth, things are going to fall apart. And on this episode, I'm going to share with you how to identify if your nervous system isn't calibrated to your next level wealth that you're calling in and what to do about it. All right. There are signs our body displays when we're hitting an income threshold. You've probably seen this play out where you've had a massive painful come in and you're like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And then that instantly shifts to feeling guilty, or it instantly shifts to having to hoard it and making sure that you never lose it. It instantly goes into, how am I supposed to recreate this again? Is this going to be a one-off? Maybe you've hit a record cash month and you've made it mean that you're different to your friends. Maybe you've hit a milestone in your business and all of a sudden you're thinking, shit, I'm so big, my friends aren't going to relate to me. My family doesn't relate to me anymore. My partner doesn't relate to me anymore. Maybe you've hit a money milestone and you've instantly felt guilty because you need to provide more for your family. Or maybe you've signed a new client at a higher level, but you've added so much extra value to make it seem worthwhile. These are all signs that your nervous system is dysregulated and not actually calibrated to the level of wealth that you're calling in. And if this is true, then you will keep at arm's length constantly that income because your brain and your body is out of coherence and feels dysregulated and unsafe receiving that amount of wealth. Recently in the podcast, I've been talking about business energetics, nervous system regulation, identity, and this is going to go more into the unconscious rapport you have with money. So your nervous system job has one job, and it's to keep you safe, not to make you rich. So when you're required to step into a higher level of visibility, step out of your comfort zone, run that masterclass, be asked to be on a guest episode and you're like, shit, like this is huge, this is a big moment for me, you're dysregulated, right? And what happens is your nervous system, it runs on old software, just like a computer, right? It runs on old software. And these are settings built before you had the business or the money. Like settings built for only to hold a certain amount of capacity. And this is like your set point, okay? If you're trying, like think of like when Apple has its updates and you go into your phone. Like, we all love it when Apple has a full new software update and it changes the whole thing and everyone's like, where the fuck is everything? Where are the buttons? I'm still trying to figure out how to use photos in the new Apple update. It drives me mental sometimes. But what happens is, like, Apple notify you and be like, hey, there's an update. Do you want to update your software? And you kind of usually hit not now button like for months until eventually it comes to a point where you can't download a new app unless you upload your software on your phone. Same thing with income and growing your business. You can't hit a new level in your business if you haven't updated the software. It's like trying to download that app and it just being like, you need to update your software. It won't work. If you want to hit a new milestone in your business, you also have to update the software that holds it, which is your unconscious mind, which is nervous system regulation teaches you how to hold it. Your unconscious mind teaches you how to recalibrate and rewire your body to believe that's possible. All right, it's the software in the back end. And what will happen is your income will always find a way back to that set point and back to what it finds normal. And that is what I see in clients who have that feast famine cycle, that hustle and then that slow period, the hustle and the slow period, high month, low month, high month, low month. Okay. So I have been teaching this for pretty much the whole of my company. Even though I started as content creation, I've always had this relationship to energetics, nervous system, because it's been a huge, huge, huge part of my journey. I truly believe that the only reason why I scaled so quickly, especially in my first year of business, is because of this work. Is because that I constantly rewired my relationship to myself and I updated my software within. I went to personal development events. I invested in mentors. I did breath work. I did somatics. I did timeline therapy, inner child. I was constantly recognizing my patterns like the unconscious patterns that run my human, which is the software that runs the software that runs the computer. I was constantly updating that. Okay. And the moment that you stop updating that backend software, you're not going to be able to download the new apps. You're not going to be able to, have the nice things that you want. A great way to explain this is think about when you blow into a balloon for the first time. Like sometimes it's really hard. Okay. You've got to like blow into it. And eventually once you start blowing, it's really easy. And then if you were to let out the air and let it go all the way down to no air in it, if you were to breathe in, like blow it up again, it would be a lot easier because you've already stretched the capacity of how much it can hold. And that's what happens when you have like high months and then low months is whilst, that's actually very normal in business. What you're doing is you're expanding your internal capacity. You're teaching your internal software, like, okay, we can hold more. And then over time, that expand and contract, it will grow bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm going to be really honest with you. Linear growth in business is usually a compounding effect of years of up and downs. Okay. I was speaking about this morning. I had a mastermind session I was attending, and the facilitator was talking about like his business growth at the moment. It's been like linear for the past like 12 months. Like every month has been a new record month. But he said, people look at that and think like, oh, business growth, like Nick's killing it, linear months every single month, like growth, growth, growth. But if you were to look behind the scenes in the last 10 years of building his company, it's been in the feast famine cycle. It's been in the highs and lows. It's been in the expand and the contract. And the results that he has now is the compounding effect of constantly expanding and contracting with the intention that every time you expand, it's bigger than the last one. So signs that your software is out of date and you need to upgrade it in order to hit that next level income. So sign number one, the post-swing contraction. So this is where you hit the record month, and then you kind of like, you're like, fuck yeah, I did it. And you've been doing so much to get to that month. And then all of a sudden you hit the month. So you're like, I'm going to relax a little bit. So you contract, all right? You usually try and tell yourself that you're celebrating, you're allowing yourself to chill out for a little bit. But what's actually happening is your nervous system hasn't calibrated. Like you haven't actually, you're halfway through downloading the new software. It hasn't fully uploaded in your system. So it's not actually working at full capacity. It's not actually fully integrated. So what will happen is you'll hit that 10K month, but then the next month following will drop down a little bit. This is a key indication and a sign that your nervous system is actually not calibrated to your next level wealth. Sign number 2 is the income ceiling. It's when you constantly hit the same number month after month after month, and you feel like you're getting somewhere, but then something comes up and it interrupts the next level. With this, I usually recognize there's a real unconscious pattern playing out with and associated to the income that you're trying to achieve. And this is usually a shadow work pattern that I call out with my clients. I have an innate ability to recognize, okay, what is their relationship to that next level income, and what's actually the shadow playing out as to why they haven't achieved it yet. Because there's usually going to be a relationship to maybe you grew up and, you had an uncle who was really successful in his business and made a lot of money, but your parents, demonized him and he was deemed to be rude or arrogant or mean. So your relationship to entrepreneurial success or business success is that successful people and people who make a lot of money are rude and arrogant. There's an unconscious pattern playing out associating to you making more money. Maybe there is also an unconscious pattern playing out that if you make more money than your parents, then you're obliged to actually pay for things for them. I've had this play out in clients multiple times before. They're like, I feel as though if I make more money, I need to pay my parents and help them out more, and I'm obliged to actually support them financially. Another thing is, and this is mine currently, is my relationship to belonging. That if I constantly hit record cash months, then I'm different to my family, I'm different to my partner, and I'm too successful and they won't understand my problems. That has been my unconscious relationship to my next level income that I have been constantly working towards. And it became really apparent this year when I hit a 60K month. It was my record cash month, and it was like the same amount that I made in my first year as a nurse. I just done that in a month. It was the same amount I made as a nurse in 1 year. And then also that was like the take-home salary of my mom. And that really triggered a lot of belonging and disconnection and fear of abandonment and fear of misunderstanding from the people that I love the most. And so of course the following month after that was a low month. I hit another 60K month in, I think it was March, and then again following that I had a low month because I was still teaching my body to regulate that, and I'm still teaching my body to regulate that as normal. So I'm still learning all of these things too, and I still use this work so much as I continue to grow and expand in my business. And then sign number 3 is the visibility spiral. So every time a bigger opportunity comes through, something randomly comes up. So I've seen this and called this out in a client recently. So she was like, okay, I'm going to go increase my prices. I'm now offering one-on-one packages she works in like Airbnb coaching and how to teach people how to, make money through Airbnb. And she was like, okay, I really want to start coaching and mentoring this. So she put an offer out. She got attention, got traction from it, and then just basically completely ghosted and didn't even ask for the sale. This was the visibility spiral, right? It was like, oh shit, who am I to do this? It was a mismatch in the identity. She was like, okay, this is where I'm moving and where I'm growing. But on an unconscious level, her software wasn't actually updated to hold what she was calling in. So really, I want you to recognize that if your nervous system is not calibrated to your next level wealth, it's going to show up in your income. The easiest identifier is how is that going for you, okay? And I love strategy, okay? I could talk about it for days. If you didn't know, I actually do love strategy and I work with my clients a lot. I love content. I love creating content. I love social media. I love personal branding. But the thing that the strategists, the content experts, and the mindset mentors won't tell you is no matter how good your strategy is, no matter how great you are at building a personal brand and, going viral on Instagram and TikTok, and no matter how positive you are about situations, if you are not attuned on a nervous system level to the income that you're making, you will quite literally reject it. If your nervous system is not calibrated to your next level wealth, it will constantly keep it at arm's length. This is the most important work if you want to constantly quantum leap. And recently, my client testimonials have been an absolute testament to this. My client Jess, who had her highest month before she hit this milestone was under 10K. And in this month, she hit a 20K cash month. my client Haley, who's in the farming industry, she just hit a 300K financial year. And she said to me, the thing that I did the least was strategy. It was all about energetics. And my client Samara recently hit 100K this year. Prior to that, the most she'd ever done in her business was a 12K sales month. And she just hit 100K. And this is all a testament to the constant nervous system regulation, attuning yourself to the income that you want to make. So I actually invite you guys. I don't usually do this on a podcast, but I feel called to because I feel like there's someone listening right now that is actually ready to step into and calibrate to their next level identity. So I am calling out and calling forward the 1% woman. There's one particular woman who's listening to this right now who you may have recently stumbled across me, or you've been following me and circling me for a while. I want to invite you into a one-to-one proximity. Okay, I have my masterminds, I have my group coaching programs, and they're amazing. But I'm really feeling called that there is someone listening to this right now who is ready to step into a high proximity, high level container with me for 6 months on a one-to-one basis. I don't often publicly advertise for premium private mentorship. And today I'm feeling a little bit different because here's the thing. As I go into Iconica, also if you haven't got your ticket, please get it because we're going to sell out. As I go into Iconica, I'm literally stepping into the multi-6-figure month version of myself. I'm traversing through so many identities, leaps and bounds, and you get to witness that firsthand. And I know on the other side of Iconica, after that's done, my one-to-one mentorship is going to excel in premium so exponentially, meaning that my prices will go up substantially because of what I will create at Iconica. And what I want to do is I actually want to invite one person who is so convicted in fulfilling her potential into my space. I want to invite you to working with me one-on-one and walk this journey with me so you see in real time what it actually takes to shift into that next level version of you. And then teach you how to calibrate to your next level income identity. If you're feeling called to this, I invite you to DM me privately on Instagram. There is no sales landing page for this. This comes from you absolutely knowing that this is made for you and you're feeling it in your body right now. I'm calling you into my DM, so please, once you've listened to this episode, DM me right now because I'm telling you, this is the last time I'm going to offer it until after Iconica in September. All right, my beautiful babes. Thank you so much for listening to this episode on the Don't Sugarcoat It podcast. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Please remember to share, subscribe, do all of the things because we can't grow unless you support us. See you in the next episode. You know the vibe. All spice, no sugar. Bye.